envision 3 female attorneys coming together to have our voices heard. Each of us would have different opinions, different passions, different backgrounds, and different views. Although we are different and unique, we are able to come together to discuss our experiences, navigating through the legal profession and this thing called life. Now, the vision has come alive, and we invite you each and every week to listen to us as we talk about what's trending in the news and our legal insight, tackle real-life issues that affect not only us as attorneys, but us as women of color. Disclaimer: this podcast is intended to provide entertainment and general information. The information provided and the views given are not intended to constitute legal advice and should not be relied upon as legal representation. All views expressed on this podcast are our own and do not represent the opinions of any entity whatsoever we are affiliated with now or will be affiliated with in the future. Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Brandy. And we have been gone for a long time, and I'm so glad to see my girls. Hey, y'all. Happy New Year. Happy Black History Month. All that fun stuff. What?
You were excited to be back, boy, I tell you.
Ow. Well, to my left,
the fabulous, the amazing Taria. Hey, guys.
To my right.
Hi, it's Samantha.
Oh, we're going by our full name this year.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, we just started the new year.
We're trying it out, you know.
So we are back. No further questions. We have been off for a while. We hope everybody had a really good New Year. We hope everybody had a great Christmas, all that fun stuff. Yeah, we are in February, Black History Month. Yay!
Yes.
However, according to social media, apparently January was a long month, but a lot of stuff happened in January. A lot.
This is true.
January did feel like a very long month.
Really? I partied in January. No, it was my birthday month, so it went by fast for me.
It did go. It took forever.
Really? I didn't feel like that.
It was a long
Like every
month.
time you thought it was over,
It's another
there
day.
was another day.
Right.
My birthday. Like, yes.
Your birthday was not the entire
It
month
wasn't.
of January.
But I
It wasn't.
celebrated the entire month.
Yes, you did.
But we are now back. Like I said, it's a new year, a new decade. So let's just talk about pretty much what happened last month in January. So everybody knows the tragedy that happened on January 26th. So we do have to take time out, and we want to remember Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna Bryant, and the 7 others that passed away in the helicopter crash. So,
Are you going to name the other 7 others?
yeah, we're actually showing the clip now, and I'm probably going to butcher their names,
That's okay.
but I personally don't know them off the top of my head. So we're gonna run the clip. Is it in there? Yes. So John, Carrie, and Alyssa. Altabelli, Sarah and Peyton Chester, Christina Mazur, and Ari Zobadan. I like butchering their names. But those are the other 7, along with Kobe and Gianna, that passed away in the helicopter crash. So we just want to take a moment to, remember them, honor all of them. It was definitely a tragic. I know for me, when I found out, I was in Aruba for my birthday trip, and I just broke down and cried because he was young. They were all young. They were all family. They were mothers, fathers, children. It was just such a sad moment. And for Kobe to be 41, and I just recently turned 40, I was like, God can take your life away at any time. So we just want to take a moment to remember them. Just express your thoughts, maybe how you felt when you find out. We can have, a brief moment to talk about it. So whichever one y'all want to go first.
When I found out about it, I was actually sleeping, and I was taking a nap, and Robert came in, and he woke me up, and he's like, Kobe Bryant died. And I was like, okay, really, you just wanted me to get up. So what do you really want? It's not real. It's not some hoax you're putting on, some tragic thing. But no, it was real, and it still feels surreal in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not just about who he was as a basketball player. To me, what touched me most, I think, throughout everyone giving tributes is acknowledging like how much of a great father he was to his daughters. And I just can't even put into words what Vanessa Bryant may be going through.
Right.
To lose her husband, who she's been with since she was 17, and to lose her daughter, who was only 13, is in the same day, in the same breath, at the same moment. I just send all of my, and I don't want to seem cliche, but all of my thoughts, my prayers that she is okay. Or if she is not okay, that she is surrounded by people who can support her in letting her know that it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
Taria, T Hutch.
I don't know. I feel like the same way as Sam. I found out we were actually at a charity event, and we were just talking about this really great, awesome women's shelter, right? That's in Houston. And so she was giving us a tour, and then my other two friends came in, and they were just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe what happened. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And so they were saying Kobe. I'm like, I'm inappropriate. What did he do this time, right? And so I'm inappropriate. I can say that. And then they told me that he had passed, and my first thing was, is this fake news? Because unfortunately, the world that we live in at this point, you can't really take what is on social media as the truth. I mean, how many times has there been some article that said somebody died and that person wasn't dead? I mean, they were saying that Kobe had died, and then they had told me that Rick Fox was gone.
Yeah, Rick Fox was in the crash with him.
Rick Fox, that's my person. And so that one, I was like, y'all need to make sure your facts are right before we go that far. But even in that, he wasn't in the helicopter at all, and yet these different stories come out where we don't have the right information, and then to hear about TMZ getting it out there before all of the families were alerted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous, and I just feel like we as a society need to be better about respecting people's privacy and just the moment that they were dealing with. Because I went back to my own self. I found out that my grandmother passed on social media a few years back, about 5 years ago. It's because my cousin decided she wanted to do a post and never once checked to see, do her grandkids, and it was her aunt, but it's like, did you check to see if all the grandkids knew? And that's how I found out. And they were trying to hold it from me, but I found out on a Facebook post. And so I think sometimes we as a society are not as sensitive to the needs that we need to be, because we're so worried about, especially TMZ and all these other stories, is getting the story out first. And so worried about the 9 people that lost their lives in a horrific way. And so we continue to hold all 9 people and their families in our prayers at this point.
And I want to piggyback off that, because I think that, first of all, those families should sue TMZ for causing that sort of emotional distress and being so negligent in their reporting. But also, let's go back to the integrity of journalists. I don't know if TMZ considers themselves or what they're doing to be journalism. However, I think that there are ethics, just like in our profession, that go along with that. And I really think I really would like for all of the media outlets to return back to those ethics and to remember that there is collateral damage and that there are other people involved when they're making these sort of news reports.
Well, Matt Guzman from ABC News, he reported that all 4 of the daughters were in the crash, and ABC has suspended him for making that wrong allegation. So he reported that, because I was reading that on the news today. So at least the bigger ones would do something. But when I was reading about TMZ, nobody's going to touch TMZ. I mean, realistically, I've heard a lot of people say, well, if TMZ didn't report it, it's not true. So they're holding them as,
supposedly in LA County, they have some kind of inside.
Yeah, and that's what I heard.
When my friends came and told me, And I was like, where was it? And it was in LA County. I said, did y'all check TMZ? Because, I mean, they're the first persons to acknowledge MJ's, Michael Jackson's death. And I think Prince's or Whitney Houston's death as well. And so it's one of those things where they always do have the first of the news. But it's like Sam said, we're forgetting that, yeah, you have the first news story, but people died. And a lot of people died. And I don't care if it was just one person. But there's a whole family behind this. And there's kids. And, you know, you look at the Altabelli family. They're left with just 2 siblings now. Their parents are gone. And so it's one of those things where you already have grief that you're dealing with because your loved one is gone. But now every 2 seconds there's some update to the story just to get it out there. Just put another dagger in your heart. Rick Fox's family, I definitely think they should sue.
But I think that the bigger issue is, first of all, we don't know if TMZ were actually the first people to know the story, or they just didn't follow ethics of journalists and confirm the facts.
Right. That's true.
So they, in my opinion, there's no way that they were probably the only people, media outlet to have known that story or to have heard that this occurred. However, I think that because ABC, CNN, these others, they have already been criticized for some false reporting before, they really want to make sure that their checks and balances are correct. Whereas TMZ, we just kind of give them a pass, and it's like, oh, well, we'll just run whatever, and then we'll clean it up later. Right. And I don't think that is fair to the consumer, to society. I don't think it's fair to the families or to the parties that are involved to just do sloppy reporting and then just decide, well, you know, whatever happens, and we'll clean it up later. Right. Like Rick Fox said that his family was, you know, hysterical because they thought he was on the helicopter. Yeah. And it's like, oh, no, just kidding. It's like, no, actually, more than an apology is going to need to happen for this.
And then it goes back to, so, yeah, if TMZ has the inside scoop, then who was your inside source that told you Rick Fox was on there? Right. You need to check your sources.
Well, and they had said it was 5, and it was actually 9. And so you saw, I watched TMZ where they just kept updating this one article, and they're cleaning it up, like Sam said, as they go along, instead of just waiting. You know, it's one thing if someone at the academy, one of the parents, put on Twitter that this happened, but to take your whole site in for hours on end when LA County was going to obviously get up at some point and make the announcement, but to just keep just digging into the wound that was already opened. He's an attorney. That's what else bothers me.
That's what bothers me,
that bothers
too.
Me a whole
He's
lot.
an attorney. He should know better.
Right.
With the ethical side, because like the sheriff said in LA County, they didn't even give the chance to tell the family because TMZ already put it out. So they didn't even properly give the notification. So that is heartbreaking too, especially for Vanessa Bryant, where her phone is blowing up like, wait a minute, what? Like what? And the police are not even probably at her door yet.
Right.
But then also, I think that because he did say, oh, we talked to Kobe's people, whoever they may be. He didn't say whom. But my thing is that Kobe wasn't just on the plane by himself. Like, okay, let's be real. It's his helicopter, so soon as the helicopter went down, I'm sure his wife was alerted that something had happened, right? When it went down. But those other families, the helicopter people or whomever did not contact them. They had no way of knowing other than I'm sure they knew they were on the helicopter. So when you're seeing all these news stories about, oh, the helicopter crashed and it's this many victims, it's different when you know that Kobe and Gigi passed away. But when you don't know,
is your relative,
you don't know if your relative is okay, and you to feel like that's appropriate. Because think about it this way. Okay, so let's say I'm a family member and I knew 9 people were on the helicopter, right? But then they report only 5 dead. So then I'm relieved, right? Yep. And I'm hoping that it's one of my family members who lived, only to find out no, everybody died.
Because you have to go back and update.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Oh, that sounds like some good old mental anguish, don't you think?
Yeah, good. Good mental
Good
anguish.
good damages.
Man, if only we were licensed in California. That's my one joke of the subject.
Right.
But my thing is, they probably got a cap on it because everybody be suing in California. Everybody.
That's true, but I do think that that's the only way TMZ is going to learn, because it's not the first
Well,
time.
I think they
where
have
they've-
multiple lawsuits against them. I mean, I think they do have a couple of lawsuits against them.
Yeah, but I think more and more they're gonna be coming. The lawsuits are gonna be stemming from the celebrities, like because remember with T.I.'s sister, this happened where she passed away, and then months later they came back and was like, oh, she was a drug addict, and it's like there was no need to
Right.
bring that up. Her funeral had passed. She passed away. They mourned. Why are you bringing this up?
It's news. It's entertainment.
Yeah, but
It's tabloid. It really TMZ is a tabloid. It is
Yeah.
what you used to see when we was growing up. Was The Insider? They just put it on TV. And this is the world we live in. We live in a social media society where we run to TMZ first. That's where we go first.
right, but
But
if
what do you
you're-
do to change that?
but there are and there's
Sue.
also limits. Like, you know, there are certain things that as a celebrity you sign up for, right? But there are certain things that the family doesn't sign up for. And I'm not saying that, you know, if you put some of your private stuff out there, or if you're a celebrity, yes, the law is even very clear. Your idea of what privacy should be is going to be different, right? On what is considered private and when you're a public figure. However, come on, death and just getting it wrong, like, come on.
But I'm reporting the news because I'm TMZ.
And I think
That's
that's
what
our,
they-
I think that's our issue is that, okay, and I keep saying this, I'm going to continue to say it. Social media needs to stop because we've lost the lack of respect. We don't have the lack of respect that we used, the respect that we used to have before social media, right? Before social media, how would we have found out this happened? Someone's going to have to text you on your old school Nokia phone, or you got to wait for the
Blackberry.
dial-up, or sometimes it's just a newspaper in general. You
Or it's
couldn't
been on
just
the
click
news.
on something so quick, and the news doesn't show until what, 12 noon. They wouldn't have probably got this on the news at 12. It'd have been around the 6 o'clock, and so then that time everybody at least is alerted.
That would
As
have been
to
they
what
would
it
have did a
is.
breaking news. You know, back then they would have
Oh,
interrupted
yeah.
your show. It would have been breaking news. You know, the helicopter crash. But no, I agree with you. But again, social media is TMZ. Everybody, TMZ is not going anywhere. We can have so many people can sue. It is going to take a very high profile celebrity to sue. I really think Rick Fox family should sue to like make an example of it and like put it in. Now that's when put it in the media to show that. But right now, you think Harvey Levin over there caring? He
I
ain't
think
that
I
high.
think it's gonna go a step further. I think that it's gonna go into laws. Like, I think that the families that he affected have enough money where they're gonna go to their legislature and
change
it's
it,
going
yeah.
to change the law.
Hopefully they change enough to where they might go out of business too. Because you know some of these laws get changed and you no longer see that type of material on TV or whatever.
Well, even if
so.
it doesn't go to business, just taking the moment to just say, I checked with Kobe's people, but did you check with the 5 others? Or the 3
Right.
other? Because at that point you knew it was at least his daughter on the plane. So you know that there's at least 3 more families potentially that you need to account for. And instead of running with it because it's just Kobe Bryant, I mean, everybody on that plane felt like that it's not just Kobe Bryant. You know, whoever was on, that's a father, that's a daughter,
mother.
that's a
Right.
mother, that's a
Yeah.
sister, and so all those people are as important as Kobe Bryant is, and I feel like his family feels the same way. None of them are less than Kobe Bryant, and I guess that's why I said the others, because now people are saying, don't call them the others; they all have names.
They do all have names.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very tragedy.
They
Tragic.
do all have names, but we don't know all of their names.
Correct.
So
Because TMZ won't let us know their names.
Correct.
Like,
that's true.
That was very true.
like they won't let us. Well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about what else been going on in news since January. Actually, probably since Christmas, December. The good old impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump. That is not going to. He is not going to get impeached.
He's already impeached. He's not going to get
you're
removed from
He
office.
has definitely been impeached by the House. So let's clarify that. Yes. However, the Senate has voted no. Y'all did hear that they don't want to hear any more witnesses, which we all knew that was going to happen. And now I think by sometime this week, he's going to be acquitted.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm gonna choose hard pass on this. I did not vote for him. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I was surprised that he was actually impeached. You know.
I wasn't because we have a Democratic House.
Yeah, but I just thought that the other party has done so much to protect this individual that there wasn't going to be much to bring for the articles of impeachment. I don't think that I did not believe that they were going to find what they found.
I mean, I knew he was going to be impeached because I knew that we just had a Democratic House.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew it wasn't going to go. I knew this was going to happen right here. I mean,
Right. And what was he impeached on?
What, obstruction of justice? And, oh, hey, ow, ow, ow. That's my new thing.
That's what you brought into 2020.
Yes, that's my
Take
new
it back.
thing.
Right.
No,
Take
I'm not
it
We're
laying
gonna lay
that
that
to
to
rest.
rest. We're gonna lay that to rest.
Return it.
Well, wasn't it like he was impeached on obstruction of justice with the Ukraine situation. I wish they were doing Russia,
Yeah.
but
He was tampering
tampering with evidence or
with the election.
no, I don't think it was that.
I thought it was.
I thought it was just mainly the whole Ukraine.
But with the mix of the election.
With
yeah,
the election.
tampering
Because-
with the U.S. election.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
he also probably in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it ain't worth 2 cents. I believe because this happened and because of the type of man that he is, he gonna take this acquittal and run with it, and he possibly will be getting another term.
well, you know, God protects fools and babies.
He sure does. Amen.
So, if that happens, then all I can do is urge all of our listeners to please register to vote. And
what's
go
the
It's
date?
vote.
almost, I think it's
Today's the last day,
Please.
so by the time
just go vote.
Yeah. Please.
If you know someone that doesn't have a car, take them to vote. You know,
Please.
exercise your right to vote. I think a lot of times
Yeah.
people will say, well, I'm in this type of state, so my vote doesn't count.
Your vote matters. I don't care what nobody say. Your vote matters.
Absolutely.
Local elections matter too. Make sure this is why he got an acquittal. He's getting an acquittal because local elections matter. They matter.
This is true. But he hasn't got acquitted yet. They just don't have any witnesses. So
it's coming.
They
Ooh. Well, okay, so
We'll
they
find
had
out this week.
witnesses, but they would not allow for any of these
to
witnesses
testify.
to testify.
Right. So they voted no.
So, yes. So with that
I
being
think, you know what? I love it. Let me tell you why. Because people always think they understand how court works and how it's just straight black and white. You know what I mean? And
never black and white
if you got good evidence,
right.
it's over.
because they have good evidence.
And they don't understand that the process, just because you have everything lined up, means absolutely nothing. And this can happen. This is a real thing. This happens a lot, more than you would ever really understand. And if you don't vote this time, you don't get to talk again, okay? I don't want to hear from you. Don't complain about him. Don't complain about your taxes. Don't complain about whatever else they're going to take away from you over the next 4 years. Because that's how I'm going to start conversations. When people start complaining, I'm going to say, hold on, wait a minute. Did you vote? And the answer is no, then hush. because you always want
That's
to
what my mom used
complain.
to always.
But
I
you
say
didn't do
that now.
anything.
I say that now. Did you, when they first started, I was like, why are we having this conversation? Because you did not vote.
Correct.
So we're not, I'm
And I
not
think,
going.
like you said, it focuses more on most people go vote and they vote for the president. And they're like, okay, I'm going to do a straight Democratic ticket or I'm going
Can't
to do
do
a
that
straight
anymore in
Republican
Texas.
ticket. And they're not worried about what everything else looks like. They're not worried about the Senate and the House because that never comes into place. I won't ever get to know that person. It's not important. Versus now you're seeing how important it is for who you place in the Senate and who you place
How
in the
your
House.
senator, because your senator more than likely is the one that agreed with no witnesses and possibly an acquittal. And also know in the state of Texas, starting this 2020, that there is no more straight ticket voting. They have gotten rid of that.
So just go online and look up those individuals that you want to vote for, and also remember you vote for other things other than people. You actually
Correct.
vote for
Propositions.
and-
Laws, taxes.
yeah. So even the people are like, I'm never gonna meet those people. You probably gonna use them roads,
Right.
I guarantee you, or
Especially
those
out here.
schools, or you know. So I'm sure it's something on the ballot that will directly affect you some way.
So your
shape,
vote
or
does
form.
matter.
So here's my question. Are y'all surprised that there are no senators that are stepping up?
no.
No. Because that man is, I think, on top of whatever between the Republicans and the Democrats, but aside from this tension, I think that it has become apparent that President Trump is going to do whatever it is to maintain his status. I'm talking about like House of Cards style. Like,
Oh, yeah, I agree.
like,
Yeah,
and
I
I
agree.
think that some of these people are scared for their lives, not even like their position, but for their actual lives.
Because, these people knew Donald Trump before he was president.
Right.
And then my question is, because me and my mom had this conversation too. Also, we don't know nothing about Mike Pence.
Well, that was my other point.
Because I'm like, we all talking about impeach. But what we know about Mike Pence.
Nothing.
I'm just like,
I'm willing to roll the dice.
I don't know.
are you?
I don't know.
I'm willing to roll because
we know
because
we-
let me be very honest, is that I'm not necessarily just a diehard Democrat, first
Correct.
off. So Mike Pence seems like the evil we recognize. Like, he seems like the cookie cutter, okay, I don't agree with your policies, but I'm not just gonna outright be racist. Like, it's the go between. It's the good old system.
He might
The good old boy?
Yeah.
He might look like the good old boy, but we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I'm
But
saying,
he
we-
can't be worse than Trump. Yo, okay.
I mean, okay.
What kind of racist do you like?
Right out there in my face.
Okay. Trump is a racist, a sexist,
Narcissistic,
right? He really likes himself.
He's narcissistic.
And it's just, I'm tired of listening to him. Like, I'll watch Fox News, and if he comes on, I'm muted, right? Because it's wah, 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 wah,
Like the
wah,
great
wah,
state of Kansas?
insult, wah, 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 insult, wah, 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 tweet, fake news. And then I'm like, okay, that's our news. I'll turn it back on. Let's see what they're saying again. Because that's essentially what happened.
But what I will say is that I do think that people should study Trump later on in life
Okay.
in regards to like his marketing
Oh, yeah.
tactics and his like brainwash, his ability to like brainwash people, because Trump will lie. He will say something happened. Then he will go back and lie and say it didn't happen. And they'll be like, nah, look, this is where it happened. And he'll be like, nah, bruh, we making America great again. And you're an idiot. And I don't know what you're talking about. And everyone will just be like, yeah, that guy's an idiot. And it's like, but wait, we have it in black and white.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
And he has a whole flock.
Yeah. Oh, and they don't care. Like
They're like
Trump.
wandering sheep. Just
No, it's like worse
I
than
think I'll
wandering
just say
sheep.
it's worse. It's like cows being herded.
No,
Just-
it's like I don't know, like just it's worse than anything I've ever seen.
it's like
and
robots or
here's
something.
my issue is, and I actually put this on social media. I had to come at a black person who were like, every black person that's not with Trump is dumb because Trump loves Christian.
Okay.
No, he can't even
And
spell
here's
Christian.
the thing: if you're supporting Trump and you're not in the 1% and you don't have a business, who really is the dumb one? Because what are you gaining from him? What do you gain? Like, seriously, like I have a business of my own. So Trump has actually did me I don't like the guy, but he's actually, my taxes this last year.
You did your taxes already?
No. Okay. So I'm still waiting for my other one. I did my
I was scared. Terry, you on top.
Right.
I ain't even looked at them things.
Because I'm waiting till April.
I did the extension. So I did the extension. So I just filed mine in October of 2019 for
Okay.
2019, right? Because I was scared. Because what people don't tell you is if you're doing this, if your salary is going like this,
Yeah.
and you don't have kids, house, or
Right.
something, your salary does this, and then you owe the government. So you're just
Ooh,
you're
yeah.
writing checks,
Uh-huh.
right? So I got
Yeah.
scared. I got real scared. So I waited to the end, and then I started doing my taxes. I was like, wait a minute.
You was affected by that tax.
The
law
Lord
he
gives you
did.
blessings even when the devil's in the
Right.
place, right? So he watches over his people.
Advocate.
That's a word right
And
there.
so I'm over there like, okay, you know what I mean? I still don't like the man, but thank you for my blessings. And these people are talking. I'm like, do you have a business? No. Are you in the 1%? No. Are you a white man? No. Why, my friend? Are you supporting anything he has to say? If you are Mexican, he don't want you here, right? African, he's trying to get everybody out. He's saying he's going to add another list of people that cannot come into his country at this point. I mean, he's making it where, thank God that we were brought over some slave ships and we helped they're going to leave. They're going to let us in because we
Terry,
came on the
That's
ship.
a rough one. We can't say thank God for that.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's how we're getting to stay on over here and not have issues that we're having because we helped build up this country. But if we had Nigerian in us, he's threatening to put Nigerians on the list of who can't come into this country at this point. And I think it's ridiculous, but it's making it so hard for people to be able to come in here at this point.
And these judges are actually siding with him too. The federal judges.
And yet our people are still saying, let's vote for him and he's doing good for us.
I just want I don't care whether you are rich or have a business or whatever and you support Trump, do whatever you want. I just can't get down with the people who believe Trump is a Christian. Like, I'm just lost on this. Like, he said that the Bible was one of his favorite books, and when they asked him to quote a verse, he was like,
you know, the one.
yeah, that one. You know, like, what about him? Please, anybody,
Well, we had
no. I'm doing a plea. Anyone who is listening, if you believe that Trump is a Christian, please come on our show and show us some facts.
Here's the thing, though. I can't tell somebody whether or not they're a Christian or not. If you say that you're a Christian, as a Christian, it is not my job to question your Christianity.
No, I mean this. The Bible says you believe that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. That
Yes.
makes you a Christian.
Yes.
Donald Trump, it believes he is his Lord and Savior.
Jesus Christ.
I don't believe
Has he
nowhere.
said that?
Nowhere has he said that he believes Jesus is his Lord and Savior.
He
Nowhere.
didn't need to tell y'all that.
Right. Nowhere.
Y'all know he's a Christian.
Okay.
He
But-
goes to church.
No, he don't. He went there one time, and
And even if
looked like he was out of
you
place.
don't have to go to church to be a Christian. I just want somebody to show me where, even if he said, in Jesus' name we pray, amen, send it to me. Because he has
What does that do?
never. It would somehow show that he acknowledges that he is not God. Like, I just want an acknowledgement at this point. because I don't understand this whole I back Trump because he's such a great Christian. Where? Where? Where's the evidence? Where are y'all getting this from?
Well, somebody please answer Sam's plea.
Please,
We would love for you to
anybody.
be a guest.
Cotton and silk or diamond and
Jeans.
yeah,
and whatever.
jeans.
Like, whatever. The
Whatever.
two little freaking frack.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I know what you. Okay, I'm back.
so
Bojangles and Kunta.
Stepping Fitch. And,
Yeah. What? I just lost. And it's not anything because I have friends who are Republicans. I have voted Republican in the past. However, it's not the Republican thing. But stop selling me on this. Trump is a Christian man because I don't know.
Well, even some of my Republican friends are like, okay,
Right. Too far. Too much.
gig is up.
Yeah.
All right.
well, let's move
Oops,
on.
my bad.
My bad, y'all.
Moving right along. So, Sam, tell us about the Gabrielle Union and Terry Crews thing. Because we know Miss Gabby, I'm a Gabrielle Union fan, was fired from America's Got Talent because she was too, what they say, like her hair
Was too black.
she was too black. And then she had some and then it was sexism and racism.
Well,
and
I
things
think
like that.
when she was working with America's Got Talent, I think that Gabrielle Union, over these last couple of years, Gabrielle Union's been really vocal about her position on certain things, and I think that she has become an advocate for women of color, especially. And I think that she was bringing some of those issues to the forefront in America's Got Talent. And Simon from what is it? American
All of
Idol.
them.
Yeah.
All of them.
From American Idol, he runs the America's Got Talent show, and I don't think that they really cared for Gabby or Gabrielle Union voicing her concerns and voicing her opinions, and they asked her to tone down her look a little bit because she rocks braids or I guess different natural styles and stuff like that, and so they asked her to tone it down. And as we know, Terry Crews used to work for America's Got Talent. Well,
Oh, he did. He was a host.
right.
Mhm.
So
Oh, yeah.
when all this was happening, Gabby basically said, okay, so since it's brought out, here's why I got fired, real life. So Terry Crews, on the other hand, first he decided not to comment. Then he decided that he was going to state that was never his experience in America's Got Talent, which took a lot of people on social media by storm because when Terry Crews was saying how he was being sexually harassed or sexually assaulted at these parties, Gabrielle Union basically backed him. And when people are trying to say this and that about him being a man and all of this, Gabrielle Union came out and backed him. Well, Terry Crews, on top of saying that it wasn't his experience, he had never experienced anything like that, he doesn't know what experience she had, he then put on Twitter, the only woman that he has to answer to is Rebecca, his wife.
Is she black?
Yeah.
Jury's still out.
I
But
mean,
That's
I'm
what I
looking at
thought
the
too.
hair.
I'm just saying, I don't know if she's black or not. However, a lot of people, when he posted that, a lot of people made this debate about, once again, a black woman backs or supports a black man, but then when he has the opportunity to return the favor, then he's like, no, deuces, nowhere to be found. And so
We're
then,
bringing this into 2020.
I'm about to say, I feel like we need to have a whole nother episode about that.
no. So then later on, he later apologizes, and Gabrielle Union says nothing, and Dwayne Wade says, somebody take Terry Crews' phone. And Dwayne Wade is Gabrielle Union's husband. So I think, needless to say, they did not accept the apology.
Would you?
Yeah, I'm about to say I wouldn't.
Because how long did it take you to get to that apology?
And at first, before he did the apology, he said he don't answer to nobody but his wife. So
Right. And as a black woman, I think that Terry Crews has the right to say that. But I think that the only people who should watch his show is Rebecca. Since that's the only opinion he's concerned about.
That's the only person he's concerned about.
So then,
And that's my issue with him giving an apology.
right.
If that's your stance, that's your stance.
just leave it.
You don't
there.
need don't give an apology because you're not concerned about what anybody else is saying. And,
Right.
But I think there is a bigger issue as to why
Why?
are we as black women still supporting the black man? The black man sometimes forgets about us.
Woo, that's a whole nother episode in and of itself. Because we ain't got enough time in the day today on this episode to talk about that. So that will be an episode coming. So back to, we did talk about black man, black woman, talked about it. This is Black History Month.
Black History,
Black History
Month.
Month. They gave us a whole month, guys. They gave us a
But
whole
there's a
month, and they
reason
still have not
why-
taken it back yet.
And there's a reason why we have this month. You know, Carter G. Woodson, he's the originator of Black History. And the reason why this month is because Frederick Douglass' birthday is this month. Also, Abraham Lincoln's birthday is this month. And may or may not be, I think the 13th Amendment was signed this month. Don't quote me on that. But there's historical facts in the month of February. So that's why they chose, actually with Carter G. Woodson, it started out as Negro Week. And then it went from Negro Week and turned it into Black History Month. And pretty much majority of the 50 states celebrate Black History Month. And as we all know, Black History Month is really not just a month. It's really 365 days of the year. 366 this year because it's a leap year.
Black History Year.
So it's really Black History Year.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's controversial. I apologize. Why do we get the shortest month?
It's not about being the shortest month. It's about the history of this
Because
month.
I want January, where it seems like it just goes on and on and on and on and
And we
on.
got MLK Day.
And then they be like, man, are we done with those black people yet? It's still Black History Month. I'm just saying.
Well, no, like I said, it's just a history that because Frederick Douglass' birthday was this month and Abraham Lincoln, and he is the one that was behind the emancipation of slavery, like getting rid of slavery. So that's why they chose February.
Well, I think
Just
I think it's cool, but I realize that Black History Month is not actually for Black people. It's really to teach non-Black people
About Black
about
history.
Black people. And it took a while to recognize that because for a while I was like, why do we need a whole month? Because, you know, I'm sure all of y'all parents as well as mine would make us read Black history facts all throughout the year.
Yep.
You know, so
Yep.
then it's like you read and then they just keep showing the same old people. But then when I start realizing that some of my non-Black colleagues don't know,
About Garrett
Like-
A. Morgan, who invented the stoplight.
or we could just start with Frederick Douglass. we could start there.
My bad.
Because
You
the only one
right.
they really know is MLK.
It's
Let's just be real about
MLK
it.
because you get a day
And they
off.
know one speech.
Right, I have a dream.
He had several more.
Right. And all of his speeches weren't about dreams either. But you know, like,
Because we really only focus on the quiet ones. If you think about it, well, they don't really want to talk about Malcolm X.
No.
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey, Rosa Parks. We talk about Rosa Parks, but there was a lady before Rosa
Yeah, it was late. It
Yes.
was several before
that,
Rosa.
got a
It was
little upset on the
teenager.
bus.
Yeah.
So we don't
Yeah.
talk about all those things.
You're right. We miss those people. Like, and also, so make sure y'all follow us on our Instagram page because the goal is for the month of February, every single day, we are posting Black History facts, preferably the ones that people don't know about. But we about to wrap this up.
yeah.
What's rest my case? What you got, Samantha?
Oh, so much to rest the case
Mm.
on in the month of January. But I do think I'm going to go back to one of the items that we talked about. And I want to talk about Gabrielle Union and Terry Crews. And I want to lay to rest this whole idea of, I guess, Black women having to come in and save the day. In 2020, no mas, my sisters. We are not saving the day. We need to save ourselves.
Amen.
I am resting my case on, especially in Black History Month, a Black woman having to come in and be the shero for everyone else. And that's a Black history fact, people. So that's the first one. Okay. So we are laying to rest. Y'all are on your own. Good night.
Taria.
Drop the mic.
Right. She dropped the mic, walked
So
off.
then I will go to the Kobe Bryant, the helicopter crash on January 26th. Everybody took that story and they kind of reflected on themselves because he was so young and it was such a tragedy as to what are you doing? You know, Shaq got on TV and cried and said he hadn't talked to him in years. And I think I took from it, stop holding grudges. I was already doing that in 2019, but stop holding grudges because tomorrow is not promised. And I think we're so always used to just saying, well, I don't talk to her today. I can talk to her next week. You know, if someone's on your mind, stop and send the text message. Pray for them, whatever you need to do, because you don't ever know what someone's going through. And when I say stop holding grudges, that does not mean bring back all the toxic people that's in your life.
I was about to say that.
Don't pick them up. Don't pick them up.
That ain't what that means.
You know, forgive. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things ever. You don't have to forget, but just forgive so that if tomorrow that person doesn't wake up, you don't have to have a guilty conscience about the what ifs.
I like that. So we got forgiveness. Black women, we not supporting nobody but ourselves.
I didn't say not supporting. I said we're not coming in and saving the day.
So we're not going to be Captain Saver.
No. You going to sit in that. God put you there for a reason. We done.
Well, mine it's kind of piggybacked off the Kobe Bryant and the helicopter crash because one thing is, this is one of my passions that I'm going to tap into it soon, estate planning. I don't want to see in 2020 GoFundMe pages for people, burials, funerals, whatever.
Oh,
Go get a life insurance policy. Get a will. It's not that hard. It's really not. If you are in Texas, go to texaslawhelp.org and pull off in a simple form and draft you a will. Don't go get legal Zoom, but I'm just saying, get a will. Holographic wills are legal in Texas. I mean, you can handwrite it. Like, please, let's get wills, estate planning, power of attorneys, and let's get some life insurance.
So, do I have to be rich to have a will?
You do not have to be rich to have a will. But
what
you
if
do
I
not
only
want the
have
state
one
to
child?
then put it down. It's your child.
Listen, that's a whole another episode.
That is. We're gonna do an estate planning, power of attorney, all that
life
fun
insurance.
stuff.
Insurance is super cheap. It's like $2 or $1 depending on
You
how
can get
old
term
you are.
life
I was gonna say
regular.
depending on how old you are.
Yeah,
And
but if
your
you're young,
pre-existing-
I think you can get it for like $2, and I pay like $2.65.
Right.
Well, let's just start out with getting a life insurance policy first and maybe some type of power of attorney documents in place because you never know what's going to happen. So let's not have any GoFundMe pages when we burying people. Let's not do that in 2020.
Right.
So thank y'all for listening and tuning in. Happy New Year. Happy Black History Month. All that fun stuff. Keep checking us out. Keep listening. Follow us at No Further Questions on Facebook, No Further Q on Instagram, and NFQ Pod on Twitter. And as always, it's your girl Brandy. You can follow me at Brand_Janae on Instagram.
You can follow me at Simply Being T on Instagram.
And you can follow me to the Turkey Leg Hut. I've never been, guys. I never.
Nobody's
been.
going to Turkey Leg Hut.
They not open on Monday.
They not?
And it's expensive.
Oh.
But we do want them on the show.
Oh, well, you're not that expensive.
Thank y'all. See y'all next
Bye, guys.
time.